battery costs. So we have the man and the legend, Chad Allen is back. And Chad, I know you have a beautiful new place and you're pretty particular, as you should be. If these were marking up the walls, if they were a hassle, I know you would not be debuting this or demoing this. So you gotta tell everybody the story. When this was here in Christmas in July, our buying team went crazy because the original quantities sold out too fast. So they secured an offer that's better than infomercial. It's the toy that everybody wants, whether it's paying it forward, Toys for Tots or Secret Santa. I mean, people love the Radical Racers, but you gotta fill in all the blanks. It's actually the technology, so it can drive on the floor, it can drive on the wall, or what's going on with this?
Well, we blew through 5,000 in Christmas in July. Hi, Shannon. Hi, everybody. Hey, Marlo. We through 5,000 in Christmas in July. The buyers called Radical Racers and said, we don't know what happened. It's a toy in July. I mean, is this, should we know something? And they said, yeah, it's the #1 commercial in the entire country. Like, it's an infomercial out there and you have a better deal. That's why they're buying it from HSN, not anywhere else. I mean, this is the place to get it. And it drives on the wall. So the buyers went back to Radical Racers and they said, can we have 5,000 more? Yes. Can we have 20,000 more? Yes. Can we have 30,000 more? This is not a joke. And this is the final quantity, Shannon. I mean, usually we don't talk about these kind of large numbers when we're talking about race cars, remote control cars, or toys in particular. There's usually a season to toys. But here's what we discovered with Radical Racers. Because they're so unique, because there's so much technology built in, it's not just for kids. We're finding adult kids are playing with this. They're keeping themselves entertained during quarantine. But here's the magic, because underneath, and you hinted at it, there's a wind turbine. You see that divot right there? There's a wind turbine built into it. And you're right, I'm not an engineer, and if you're not either, it means a fan, creating a little bit of suction to give it that anti-gravity. Oh, look at that shot. Thank you, Chris. Thanks, Kevin. Look at right there. That is a perfect wind turbine built in underneath. It may look like nothing to you and I, but it took the engineers a couple of years to figure out how to make a car drive on the wall or the ceiling or the A-frame or the windowsill. But it's super simple. All you do is put it into wall mode, just like this child is doing right here. Put it on the wall. Put it on the ceiling, allow it to drive on the windowsill, the coffee table. Oh yeah, and also the floor. It does drive like a normal remote control car. And the whole time, it is powered by a lithium-ion battery. And lithium-ion batteries are not cheap, my friends. You don't have to replace that ever. All you do is use your included USB charging cable. Yes, we give you the cable. You absolutely can plug it into your Mophie coming up at midnight. I have three Mophies. I keep them on my nightstand, so I just put my cell phone right next to it. It's brilliant, by the way. And yeah, you can plug in your Radical Racer. One red car, one blue car, so you know who's crossing the finish line first, so there's no cheating. And then you just wall mode it. That's like wall mode it. That's a new term I just made up. And then you get that race car sound. Any flat surface, it sticks just like that. It's so simple. And then up, down, sideways, drift it, do circles, whatever you want. But Shannon, this is the gift, and HSN took all the inventory.
Yeah, they did, and I gotta tell you, I mean, get it while the getting's good. I think this is a time of year that if it's taught us anything at all, I mean, time is of the essence. And I would really encourage you, do it now. Remember, we can deliver it across the miles. My mom wants me to get this for my nephew. Great thing is, it's pay it forward because there are two of them, so my niece and nephew can both play at the same time. Part of the reason my mom wants me to get this, though, is Hunter, my nephew, is big on video games, but whenever he's downstairs in the basement playing the video games, it's just, he's kind of on his own. And, my mom even said, gosh, Hunter misses a lot because he loves his video games. But this is something that the whole family gets involved in. And unlike all of those Skype connections, I mean, we've even had live shows where it's like, oh, you see the, connections start to break up. This doesn't rely on your data speed or your bandwidth with, or your router, or your virtual avatars, or parental warnings, or any skins, or any kind of the stuff that it goes along with the traditional games that kids play, not the least of which is you don't worry about any parental warnings. So when I say in a year where I think we really want to be generous and pay it forward, why not add a little fun to that Christmas, especially if it is a needy family or you're just in need of a little stress relief? Because the other thing about this, Chad, is there is no learning curve. My nephew Hunter is always like, Auntie Shannon, occasionally he's gestured to give me the little remote thing, and I'm like, no thanks, I'll pass. There's no learning curve. Everybody enjoys it. Everybody loves it. It's safe. It's fun. It's affordable. And you know what? It is kind of a great little stress reliever too, isn't it?
It sure is. And we're not worried about screen time. The only blue light you're getting with this Radical Racer is right here in the built-in LED headlights. Hey, did you like that? That was a pretty good line. The only blue light you're getting is not from a tablet, it's from your remote control car. Look at that. So built-in headlights, built-in taillights, and in fact, they thought of everything. If I go one way or the other way, it only turns on one headlight, which means I can create my own turn signal. Really, these are features that Radical Racers could have skipped. I mean, if I came out here and said this remote control car drives on the wall and the ceiling, and we all would have been infatuated. But they said, no. Let's give them some headlights. Let's give them some taillights so the kids or the adults really feel like they're driving a real car, even down to the sound or the frequency of sound that the fan, the wind turbine makes when I turn it into wall mode. Hear that? It's like a real drag race car. So when you put it on the wall and you drive it, there's just a little bit of suction, just enough to give it that anti-gravity. That's what's building in. That's what's going to work for you. So it doesn't matter if your wall has a little bit of texture, it's semi-flat or all the way flat. It doesn't matter what kind of paint you have. It doesn't matter if you're a girl or a boy or you're not worried about what size clothes the kids wear, or, if you're handing a child, maybe a niece or nephew, a tablet, an iPad, an iPhone, and you're worried about screen time. There is no wires. This is all wireless. There is no batteries to buy except for 2 AA that go in the remote. But I've had the same batteries in this remote since Christmas in July. They don't go bad. And the car actually recharges up. You're getting the red car and the blue car. And I used the Ship Direct to my nieces and nephews in Indiana. So when they open this up and they get the real colored picture gift box with that window that shows the car, I know they're going to be excited. And this cost me a lot less than if I went to Indiana and took them to the gas station and bought them a soda and a candy bar, Shannon.
I mean, no joke. And Chad, did you hear my story from earlier? It was like back in the day when we used to go clubbing and last call and they kick you out. They actually they cut me off at the post office. There was like 5 minutes left. No, they did. They put like the little, they're like, no. I'm like, I almost did the, don't you know who I am? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Don't you know who I am? I've got stuff to send.
Wait, I thought when they do last call is when we find our husbands, Shannon. What are you talking about?
Exactly, or find your Uber. Listen, I've been kicked out of a place a time or two, but the post office, that was the first time for me. I'm like,
and then we drive a Radical Racers.
Really? The post office. All right, well, we're not kicking you out. Well, we kind of have to because Marlo is in the wings and she's getting ready to do that Mophie Today special. Chad, we love you. We have to say, though, all good things are coming to an end. And in theory, we've got okay quantities, but since you always sell several thousand at once, they probably should do it tonight, don't you think?
I really do, because I only have like one more scheduled show, and then we're like less than a month until Christmas. So charge it up with that Mophie coming up at midnight.
Absolutely. Well, I'm always charged up when I see you on my list. I love ya.
Mwah. Bye. Happy holidays.
Hey, thank you, Chad. All right.